As Angelica mentioned, Donald Trump has threatened Russia with more tariffs. On that note, we now have my colleague Dhea joining us to tell us more on this update and what else happened at the White House overnight in our special segment, Trump Watch. Dhea, over to you.
Starting off with a bold ultimatum from the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump told Russia to end its Ukraine war within 50 days or face massive new economic sanctions as he laid out new plans for infusions of weaponry for Kyiv via NATO. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump said, "We are going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days, tariff at about 100%.
We are very unhappy, I am, with Russia, but we'll discuss that maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means. I use trade for a lot of things, but it's great for settling wars. It's a horrible war, and it should be stopped. And so if it's not done, if we don't have an agreement in 50 days, that's what we're doing, secondary tariffs. And they're biting. And I hope we don't get to the point where we do, but I've been hearing so much talk. It's all talk. It's all talk, and then missiles go into Kiev.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that he held a call with Trump to discuss defense solutions for Ukraine. This follows Trump's authorization of more arms shipments to Kyiv as tensions continue to mount on the Eastern Front. And more on the trade front, the U.S. is now targeting Mexican tomatoes. The Commerce Department has announced new anti-dumping duties of 17.09% on most imports of fresh tomatoes from Mexico. Now, this follows the termination of a 2019 agreement that previously prevented such tariffs. Washington cited unfair trade practices as the reason behind this. Moving on, President Trump says he's still open to negotiations, signaling willingness to reopen trade talks, including with the European Union, even as he insisted that the letters he has sent threatening new tariffs rates are, in his words, the deals for U.S. trading partners. And another geopolitical developments, Iran has rejected the idea of new nuclear talks with the U.S. if they are conditioned on halting uranium enrichment. The statement came on Monday as diplomatic efforts between Tehran and Washington stay at a stalemate. In more news from the U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for Trump's administration to resume dismantling the Department of Education, which will impact 1,400 employees. Now, this is part of his bid to shrink the federal government's role in education in favor of more control by the states. And lastly, President Trump is doubling down on tech and energy. Later today, he's set to unveil $70 billion in investments in AI and energy sectors, which is a major move aimed at accelerating innovation. That's all for today. Now back to you.
Well, thanks so much for that, Dhea. But